Hello everyone and welcome to a Readathon reading wrap-up. Please ignore this as much as possible. I'll try and keep it out of frame as much as I can. I'm trying to get acrylic nail off. So anyway, okay, so this particular Readathon is the Hunger Games Readathon. This is based on the Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins, I want to say is her name, the author's name. Yes, Suzanne Collins. Anyway, I do enjoy I have read The Hunger Games once, and I have really enjoyed it, and so I thought I would participate in this readathon. Now, this is a team-based readathon, and I was sorted onto, you can choose what district, so the teams are divided by district. And you can choose what district, or you can say, sort me into whatever district, and that's what I did. And I was sorted onto district number 4. So, and that is, so district 4 is one of the more wealthier districts. The closer it is to like district 1, which is the next one up, is the capital, the more wealthy they are. And this is the industry for fishing. And so they're around a coastal town, or is considered a coastal town, according to the prompt that I have. So I don't know much about the Hunger Games, but I really enjoyed it when I read it, and I enjoyed the movies. So, okay, let's go ahead and get into the prompts. There were several prompts and different groupings. I did not complete all of the prompts. This is also team-based, and I got about 850 points towards my team. Okay, let's go ahead and get into the prompts and whether or not I completed them. So the first grouping of prompts is to survive the arena. Prompt number 1 is reaping. This is to read a debut book, and I read the debut for C.G. Drew's, and that is 1,000 Perfect Notes, and this was the selection for the March Autism Reads, which is a read-along that I host, where we read a book by an autistic author every month. This was the YA selection. Not March, excuse me, February. We are currently in March when I am filming this wrap-up. This was the selection for February. So I ended up giving this one 3 stars. It was 276 pages. A lot of, be aware this is very heavy as far as abuse goes. Physical, emotional, and neglect, all of children. So please be aware of that. The main character is 16 or 17. He has a little sister that's 5, and he is forced to play the piano to perfection from his mother, who is called the maestro. But again, please be aware, a lot of abuse in this book. So yeah, prompt number 2 is the train ride. This is to read a book from where an author is from your home state or home country, and I did country. So I went with Fangs, which is a graphic novel by Sarah Andersen. This is a romance between a werewolf and a vampire. I gave that 5 stars, and it was 100 pages. Prompt number 3 to survive the arena was City Circle Parade. This is to read a book that is a play or is a play or is an adaptation of some sort. I did not complete this prompt. Number 4 is the Training Center. This is to read a book where the title starts with the word the. And this one I read an ebook, and it is The Fire on Memory Lane by Felix Dimaro. I gave this one 4 stars. It was 129 pages, so it is a novella, and it is a horror novella. I didn't get the horror aspect when I personally read it, but I still enjoyed it. This guy can take this vial of serum and like ingest it, and he can basically relive certain positive memories and to escape reality type of a situation. Prompt number 5 is the Bloodbath. This is to read a title that has an alliteration and I'm getting myself confused. Hang on. Okay, so an alliteration is the occurrence of the same letter or sound at the beginning of adjacent or closely connected words. For example, Sweet Birds Sang. For this one, I actually went with volume 4 of Creepy Cat. So both start with the C and both make the K sound. So Creepy Cat. I gave this one 5 stars. It was 125 pages. This is a gothic paranormal all about cats, ghost cats that can multiply, stretch, shrink, go through walls. Yeah. It has witches and vampires as well. And unfortunately this is the last one in the series. It is complete, but I love it. It is so cute. Highly, highly recommend this series. Prompt number 6 is to find a shelter. This is to read a book that has a building on the cover. For this one, I went with, not the physical book, I went with an ebook called Hard Times by Charles Dickens. There are several different cover variations, and where I read the ebook, I just kind of picked one of the covers that has buildings on the cover. So you will be seeing it with what I post here. This is a classic. I gave this one 4 stars. It was 326 pages. It's about basically, my takeaway from it is that it's about adults that are trying to shape the minds of youth, and they're trying to make it so you can't think outside the box, can't think creatively, things like that. In a very, very simplified nutshell. Prompt number 7 is Hunt for Food. This is to read a spicy book. For this one, I did another ebook called Snowbound Secrets by Jordana Pearce. 3 stars, 100 pages, workplace, bodyguard, romance. Okay, and that's pretty much all you need to know. Prompt number 8, Run for Your Life. This is to read a book that is a horror or a thriller. For this one, I read a horror manga, and I read Remina by Junji Ito. So this one I ended up giving 4 stars, 250 pages. It's like there's this object in outer space that's discovered, and it starts hurtling towards Earth, and people think it's going to be the end of the world. And they start... Remina, the planet, or whatever it is named after the person that discovered it, his daughter. And so people start thinking that in order to save the Earth, they have to kill the person that this object was named after. So, yeah, good time. Prompt number 9 was to make fire. This is to read a banned book, and I did not do this one. Prompt number 10 is to stalk your prey. This is to read a book that has been on your TBR for over 1 year. The book I selected, this has been on my physical TBR. I have owned this book for at least 3 years, and that is Agatha Christie and Then There Were None. I ended up giving this one 5 stars, 300 pages. You have 10 strangers that go to an isolated island, and they start dying one by one. Prompt number 11 is to outlast your competitors, and this is to read the longest book on your TBR. I did not do that one. Number 12 is Be Crowned Victor, and this is to read a Goodreads Choice winner, and I did not do that prompt. The next grouping of prompts is To the Victor Belongs the Spoils. Now you're going to see with each new grouping of prompts, even less prompts are completed. So I read Lucy Gray Baird. This is to read a book that contains a musical element. I read Gothikana by RuNyx. This is a gothic book. Gothikana. It's dark romance fantasy. The character at the start of the book hears someone playing the piano, sees who it is that's playing the piano. There is sex that takes place on the piano, and the main male lead plays the piano a lot. So that's the music element. Prompt number 2 is Cedar. This is to read a book with a 50-year-old or more main character. I did not do that prompt. Number 3 is Mags. This is to read a book where the character makes a sacrifice. For this one, I did use the ebook Gluttony by Kira Roman. 5 stars, 159 pages. Oh, and Gothikana before that was 392 pages with 4 stars. Anyway, Gluttony by Kira Roman, 5 stars, 149 pages. The sacrifice is... I'm trying to remember. One of the main characters starts a fire to save two other people, sacrifices the risk of their freedom, and then at another point, to be safe, the freedom is sacrificed. So yeah, freedom is sacrificed. Your own like personal freedom. Number 4 is BB, Late Latier. This is to read a cyberpunk. I did not do that one. Enobert, this is to read a book with a brutal villain. I did not do that. Number 6 is Cashmere and Gloss. This is to read a book featuring siblings. I did not do that one. Number 7 is Peeta Malark. This is to read a book that has mental health or disability rep. This one I did Rough Touch by Willow Winters. Mental health rep, you have diversity and suicidal ideation in this. This is the discrete series. This is what I'm trying to collect, is this cover variation of these. So yeah, there's also talk of being on medication because the depression is so bad, and trying to counter your negative thoughts and being in therapy. So yeah, that is in there. 4 stars, 235 pages. Prompt number 8 is Joanna Mason. This is to read a book with a misunderstood character. I did not complete that prompt. Number 9 is Katniss Everdeen. This is to read a book with a first-person POV. For this one, I went with Bride by Ali Hazelwood. This is a romance fantasy, marriage of convenience, and it is told in first person. I gave this one 5 stars. It was 396 pages. The last 2 prompts for this grouping of prompts I did not complete, and that was Hey Mitch Abernathy with an unlikely hero or mentor, and then Blight, which takes place in your hometown, state, or etc. I did not do that prompt. The next grouping of prompts is Pan Am Today, Pan Am Tomorrow, Pan Am Forever. These are mostly district prompts. So, the first grouping of prompts in this group I did not complete, and those are the Capital, which was to read a utopia or dystopian book. District 1 was to read a book with a gemstone in the title. District 2 was to read a book with a character trained in combat. Prompt number 4 was District 3, which was to read a book featuring technology we do not have yet. Prompt number 5 was District 4, which was to read a book set on a coastal town. I did not do that one, which I'm telling you these ones I did not do. Number 6 is District 5, which is featuring a scientist. Prompt number 7 was District 6, which was about a road trip. Prompt number 8 was District 7 with a woodsy setting or a cover. I did not obviously do that one. Number 9 was District 8, fashion industry. And prompt number 10 was District 9 with an early character death. Prompt number 11 was District 10 with an animal on the cover. I did do that one, and I read Katie the Catsitter, which is a middle grade graphic novel. As you can see, this has cats on the cover. So, a lot of cats throughout this book. The next 2 I did not complete, and that was prompt number 12 with District 11, which was to read a book with a strong community. Number 13 was to read District 12, which is a book with a love triangle. And the last prompt for this grouping I did do, and that was District 13, which is themes of grief, loss, and recovery. And I went with Fake Dates and Mooncakes. And that was 4 stars at 262 pages, written by Sher Lee. There's a lot of talk about the death of a mother. And so you're still dealing with the grief, especially when it's like the year anniversary of the passing of this parent. So a lot dealing with grief and loss. The next grouping of prompts, the last grouping of prompts I should say, there are only 4 in this grouping and I completed all but 1. And this is more from Suzanne Collins. So prompt number 1 is Little Bear. This is to read a cozy mystery or a romance or a fantasy. I read a romance, and that is Recipe for a Charmed Life. This is a sweet romance. There is no sexually explicit information in this. This is by Rachel Linden. I gave this one 4 stars. It was 362 pages. Number 2 is the The Underland, which was the Underland Chronicles, which was to read a middle grade. For this one, I read Katie the Catsitter, Best Friends for Never. This is book number 2 in the Katie the Catsitter graphic novel middle grade series. I gave this one 5 stars, 209 pages. Prompt number 3 was Clarissa Explains It All. This is to read a book that gives nostalgia, and I did not complete that prompt. And the last prompt for this grouping and for the readathon as a whole was number 4, which was When Charlene McButton Lost Power. And this is to read a comic or an illustrated book. And I read a graphic novel. This is book number 4 in the illustrated or graphic novel series of the Babysitters Club, written by Anne M. Martin. Books 1 through 4 are illustrated by Raina Telgemeier. And I like the artwork in this, and this is Claudia and the Mean Jeanine, who is Claudia's older sister. So those are the books. Now, that was a total of 3,878 pages read for this readathon. So 29 days in February of 2024, that works out to be 133.72 pages per day. So almost 134 pages a day. There were 0 stars, 0 1 stars, and no 2 stars. I gave 2 books 3 stars, 8 books 4 stars, and 7 books 5 stars. So that worked out to 73 stars issued during this readathon, with 17 books read. That works out to be 4.29 stars. So there were a total of 41 prompts for this readathon. I only completed 17, so that actually works out to be a 41.46 average rating. So just shy of pretty close to the halfway mark. So if I could have read 3.5 more books, I would have hit the halfway point, but missed that. So anyway, so yeah, that is the Hunger Games readathon that was on Discord. If I can link the Discord in the description box, I will. This was fun to participate in. It was very creative, and I thought the prompts were fun. So they did this last year, and I hope there is another version of this in 2025. I will definitely be participating if I can in that one as well. Just kind of depends on what life throws at you at the time, you know? So yeah, let me know. Did you participate in the Hunger Games readathon? There is also an Instagram, so I will definitely list the Instagram in the description box. So if you're interested in this readathon next year, if they do it again next year, then you have a way to keep an eye out for it. So yeah, let me know. Did you participate or did you not? Have you read any of these books? What were your thoughts on these books if you have read them? Or have you read books by any of these authors? Let me know. Talk to me in the comment section below. And until next time, stay true to yourself and enjoy a good book, and I'll talk to you later.